If you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you have a difficult time promoting your offering, being visible, positioning yourself in a market, this video is for you. There's a lot of tension in the spiritual community when it comes to being a healer and having a business and generating income. And what happens is a lot of healers suppress what they really want to receive from their offerings based upon this narrative that they should just be giving it away or sharing the offering as a way of a barter and really not generating the income that they need. So this isn't just about making a lot of money. This is about getting honest as to what type of lifestyle do you want to live. And I find a lot of healers having such a difficult time being clear and honest with what their inner desires are. It is sacrificing yourself in the name of some type of spiritual illusion that you keep on living from. And that is a mental belief system that you're living from. By the end of this video, you will understand why you shrink and how to step into your true positioning. And if this is the first time you seeing me, my name is Tahira. I guide spiritually mature visionary leaders, founders, and particularly women into embodying their power, stepping into their leadership, scaling their income, and building a legacy. And men are also welcome into the space too. I have been in the healing realms for over 20 years. I have built a school called Ecology of Shamanism that I ran for 7 years that generated over 6 figures. And I also lead pilgrimages in Kemet, as I have a academy called Sacred and Paid, where we go deeper into this type of work with nervous system regulation, wealth embodiment, and really empowering healers to step into leadership. Let's talk about the belief systems that a lot of healers function from, because it is a belief system. And that belief around spiritual gifts need to be free. It's really looking at where did that come from? Who is saying that? And realizing that that is not why you received the gift. You received the gift in order to sustain your life. And so that gift is your offering to the world to create transformation for people who are looking specifically for whatever particular modality you are serving. Thinking that staying small keeps you humble, quite frankly, it is sabotaging your income and your responsibility as a healer. If anything, it's just another excuse for you not to show up and be that natural leader that you are. And if the word leader, boss, CEO triggers you, it's probably because you are hiding from that part of yourself. The imposter syndrome also comes up because there could be a part of you that's comparing yourself to somebody else. And I'm going to say this, that is how they function, but that's not how you're supposed to be showing up. The most powerful thing you could do, especially nowadays, is just to be yourself and show up in your authenticity. When you show up in your authenticity, people can connect to you on an intimate level, and you speak to them from that place, and you speak to them from real experience, which ties into the wisdom that you carry. So you're not supposed to be showing up like everybody else, to be the light, to show up in your light so people can really see you and get to know you, to nourish your offerings that are all about transformation. Your offerings are sacred. Again, if you believe that they were given to you or you were born to work in a certain capacity, then you need to start treating it like that, meaning that your gifts are priceless, they are gold, and it's all about owning it fully so you can receive fully. And in shamanism, it's called law of reciprocity, creating that balance between energetic exchange and financial investment. So here are the 3 pillars in honoring your offerings. So the first thing is get clear as to know what you're actually offering. What exactly is the transformation? What are people going to experience? How are they going to change from that experience? And why should they work with you? These are the things you must ask yourself so you get more clear as to exactly what your offering does for people, because that's going to create a stronger signal when you post your content, when you're speaking to people about what you do. For example, you're not selling a session, you're selling someone's return to themselves. A journal prompt that you could ask yourself is, what changes does a person move through when they work with me? Pillar 2, own your authority. Ownership is all about learning that you are the captain of self, and it is you versus you. And you direct your life the way you see fit. And it doesn't come from ego. It comes from a genuine embodiment of your work. You can only take people as far as you've gone yourself. That doesn't mean that you have to wait. And there's such thing as perfection, especially when it comes to healing. But if you didn't cross the river, how are you going to guide people to cross the river or to cross the threshold without your own real, raw experience? Because if you are a person that guides people into that transformation, you not only have to learn how to cross the river, you have to go back across for the people who are ready to cross over themselves in a balanced and stable way. And so without that experience, you haven't embodied. And people do feel that. I tell my students all the time, be at least 10 steps ahead so you can guide people from that place of position. It is ownership and being a steward of your life and your gifts. Pillar 3, price as an act of reverence. When you undercharge, you are signaling to what you might call the universe that you are not worthy of anything more than that. Also telling your clients that it's okay to take less than what your standard and worth is. Pricing is energetic. It sets the container. It creates that structure for you to show up fully in what you're doing. When you underprice, you may show up because you feel like that's a part of your responsibility, but energetically, it's not fulfilling. Your mind will make you think that's fulfilling, but how you feel afterward is the big measurement. And also how much money you have. And are you able to live the life you fully desire from what you're making? And here's the key: your client's investment in you is a reflection of your investment in yourself. Let's talk about how to position yourself as a spiritual entrepreneur. Get clear on your soul niche. What I like to do with my private clients is go through a soul curriculum of helping them to really identify and get clear as to not only what their offerings are, but where do they come from within their experience of life and the wisdom that they gain from that. So the offering can be fully embodied, sharing it from that level of depth. Who are you called to serve? Speak directly to that audience, to that avatar. Don't waste your time trying to convince people who are not in alignment to what you're doing. Step 2, tell your story with purpose. I tell my clients all the time when they say, I don't know what my purpose is, I always redirect them and tell them, your purpose is your life. When you stop fighting who you truly are and accept that the lessons in your life is what's creating the wisdom that you can share with others, which is part of your gifts. Your specific journey is your positioning, because nobody can live the life that you have lived. There can be relatability, but your life is unique. And people just don't buy service. They buy into the person's experience and energy and how they position themselves after they went through whatever it is that got them to that place of power. Step 3, show up consistently with truth. Stop trying to sound like everyone else and just be yourself. Learn to train in your voice. Learn to train with how you just naturally show up, and begin to love that part of you, because that is what makes you unique. And it's going to create a stronger signal to the people who want to experience you. Quit being afraid of just saying it for what it is, and just speak from that place of truth and embodiment. Step 4, stop waiting until you feel ready. I'm going to say this very clear. Readiness is a myth. It is presence that's what's going to take you into that next level. Waiting for some type of mystical confirmation will keep you stuck. Presence is the ultimate. It is when you show up for yourself in the moment and learn to trust what you're doing and command from that place. Because the people who need you, they're not waiting for a perfect moment. If anything, they need to see you. Being a leader and being a person of service is not about showing up perfectly. It is about understanding there is a responsibility to show up for the people that you're meant to serve. Every time you don't share your work, you're withholding an opportunity for somebody else to move through a significant transformation, a significant healing that could change their lives. You reframe visibility as an act of love and kindness, because you realize it's bigger than you. And the spiritual entrepreneur that shows up boldly, takes responsibility for their business, takes responsibility for their energy, are the ones that get greatly rewarded, because they stop hiding. When your messaging, your offering, and your identity are aligned, promoting yourself feels natural. And you begin to enjoy what it is to have a real business as a person who functions from a level of spiritual maturity and wisdom. The key takeaway is this: the more aligned you are, the easier it becomes to show up. Honoring your offerings means knowing how transformative and important it is, owning your authority, and pricing with reference. And positioning is clarity, and clarity is service. If you want to go deeper in this work, you could join me in the Sacred and Paid Academy container, where we begin at the foundational level of building more structure, learning to regulate your nervous system, moving through the energetic bodies, so you can learn how to hold that level of capacity to fully arrive and remain in your power. It's a 7-day free trial, and then it's only $22 a month. I do monthly transmissions, guided recorded meditations, reflection prompts, in order to support you in the evolution of sovereignty and wealth. If you're interested, I'll see you in the container. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.